Welcome in to Outkick, the show presented by Oddshark. Go to Oddshark for all your gambling and informational related needs. Also, go check out my friends at The Home Loan Expert. If you need to get refied, if you need to get pre-qualified, if you just need a mortgage, trust me, they sponsor the Anonymous Mailbag. They're on the road with me this fall doing an Outkick from the road all over the SEC, trying to decide where the best tailgate is. Get hooked up now. Trust them. Take care of Oddshark for all your gambling and informational related needs. And thehomeloanexpert.com. Gotta murder a guy off the top. Boom! Clay Kyle for the win. First comment, and a man is dead. Oh my God. I don't know that's ever happened before. This is Outkick the show. Like I said, I'm Clay Travis, wearing my charity T-shirt from Texas. If you can see this, I will come and hang out with you guys. And let's go ahead and dive into today's show. Several things to get to. First of all, fire Butch Jones. There's no defending him at this point. Lots of different SEC programs are not happy as we enter into week 4 of the college football season. Tennessee's not happy. Missouri's not happy. Let's go ahead and say Arkansas's not happy. Texas A&M's not happy. Auburn's not happy. LSU's not happy. Virtually half of the SEC is not happy with their head coaches right now. It's a dumpster fire all over the Southland. So we're going to talk about Butch Jones. We're going to talk about CNN caught in a lie, lying about me. I busted them. If you want to go check it out, go read the article that I posted today at Outkick.com, and you'll be glad that you did it. And this is real life. I am so wrecking ESPN. They have like 10,000 employees, and I, by myself, am out there Jon Snowing them, just swinging around my Valerian steel sword, wiping out the entire company. They are so triggered now at ESPN headquarters that they have executives sitting around listening to my show and counting how many times I say the word boobs. It's an unbelievable world that we now live in. Welcome in to my world, ESPN, a broken company run by morons. I appreciate all of you coming to spend your Monday with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and download the Outkick podcast. We're on every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, 250 a.m. FM stations nationwide, satellite radio coming back soon. We have got a roll going right now, the likes of which you have never seen before. Thank you for all your support with Outkick. But let's start here with Butch Jones. 2 years ago, Tennessee went down to Gainesville, and they blew the game because Butch Jones was incompetent coaching on the sideline. If you have forgotten that game, Butch Jones was up 27-14. They scored to go up 26-14. He elected not to go for 2. Florida comes storming back, scores on a 4th and 16, goes up inevitably 28-27, and Tennessee loses. Butch Jones at the time blamed his play chart, even though he's such an idiot that nobody ever believed he actually looked at a play chart. This year, from 1st and goal inside the 1, where Tennessee should be going up 10-6, which would have been a huge lead the way this game was being played. Instead, what happens? Tennessee blows it, turns it over, continues to screw up, and the game ends with Tennessee should be going to overtime and have a good shot to win because Tennessee's the better team. Instead, the Vols neglect to defend, a wide-open wide receiver allowing a 63-yard touchdown, the longest pass play to end a college football game since 2002. What's particularly galling about this failure is it came directly out of a timeout, and it was the exact same position that Tennessee was in last year when they allowed Georgia and Jacob Eason to get a receiver behind them and score. Last year, Butch Jones got bailed out on a Hail Mary and everybody forgot about it, but there was ample time to have taught your defensive backs as if they needed to be taught during that commercial break. Hey guys, there's 9 seconds left in the game. Florida is at the 37-yard line. In order to get anything at all like a makeable field goal, they need to add about 30 yards. You can't gain 30 yards in 9 seconds and either get tackled or get out of bounds and get a timeout in 9 seconds. It's highly unlikely for that to be capable. So, the only thing you need to do is guard the field and don't allow a touchdown to happen. It's all you need to do, okay? And as a result, you drop everybody back. Butch Jones said they didn't have enough talent to be able to switch to a dime package. Let me tell you this right now. Multiple players have reached out to me, and they have said that they practice the end-of-game situation all the time, and that they put wide receivers on the goal line to keep a Hail Mary from happening. In other words, that's something they practice. Butch Jones wasn't prepared to make that decision because he's not a very smart man. His brain does not work well. Had I been on the headset at that point in time, I would have said, guys, all we need to do is not give up a touchdown. Okay? We don't need to focus on anything else. We don't need to have guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage playing defensive back. We don't need our safeties anywhere near the line of scrimmage. You go back and look at that picture. There were 9 guys within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's how you get beat deep. What you should have done is put an umbrella defense out there, line up 5 or 6 guys 25 and 30 yards deep so that it's impossible for there to be any wide receivers getting back, right? All those guys lined up basically inside the 10-yard line. All they have to do is make a tackle, and we go to overtime. Instead, Tennessee gets beat deep. Moreover, the other thing you could say is, hey, if you guys think you're getting beat deep, just tackle the wide receiver. Then you get a 15-yard penalty, and there's only one untimed down. Remember, we're not talking about the NFL where the penalty is yardage of the distance, right? Wherever the foul is made, the penalty happens. In college football, if you tackle a guy in the end zone 60 yards down the field, it's only a 15-yard penalty. So in this situation, Florida would have had one untimed down to throw it into the end zone. They still wouldn't have been able to kick a field goal because 15 yards wouldn't have been anywhere near enough. So all you had to do was tell them, tackle the guy. All right, that's all you had to do to tell them. It was such failure that I believe Butch Jones should be tired. Now, who do they hire? Who does Tennessee hire? To me, you fire Butch Jones if he doesn't beat Georgia in 2 weeks. So you circle that game on September 30th in Knoxville, and you say either you beat Georgia or you're fired. Because we know that Butch Jones is not going to go on the road and beat Alabama, right? So if you lose to Georgia, and you've already lost to Florida, and then you lose to Alabama in year 5, you lose to all 3 of the rivals, you have no chance in year 5 to actually win the SEC East. After 5 years, you're 0 for 5. You fire him right then and there after the Alabama loss. You go out and you make a decision. Do we want to get Chip Kelly, or do we want to get Bob Stoops, or do we make those are 2 guys that are unemployed right now, right? I'd be very happy with either of those. You could potentially wait and make a run at Dan Mullen when the season is over. You could potentially wait and make a run at Bobby Petrino when the season is over. Or I think Mike Leach is going to have a really good year at Washington State. You could potentially make a run at Mike Leach. That's 5 really successful coaches. You could also make a run at Justin Fuente. Maybe he'd be willing to come from Virginia Tech. All of those guys are much better. I like Jeff Brom at Purdue. You guys have a ton of different names out there. I think Bob Stoops is potentially the most likely. Bob Stoops, did you see this on Twitter? Started right after the Florida loss, started following all of the top recruits for Tennessee. Maybe he's just trying to send a message. I don't buy the fact that Bob Stoops' career in coaching is over. He could come back to the SEC. He's already coached in the SEC before when he was at Florida, before he went to Oklahoma. He's the same age right now that Nick Saban was when he came back to Alabama and started his dynasty. He's still a young guy. I don't want in any way Les Miles. That is basically the exact same thing we've already got with Butch Jones. I want a guy on the sideline who never makes errors, who is in total control. You might lose football games, but I don't want him to lose a game because he makes a bad coaching decision. I've seen that too much. I haven't enjoyed the last 5 years of watching Butch Jones on the sideline. He is totally incompetent when it comes to in-game decision-making. I am not in any way going to support that at all. So that's my breakdown of the Tennessee coaching situation. If anybody has any balls, they will basically let it be known it's Georgia or bust. You lose this game, and then you lose to Alabama. You fire him on October 21st or the next day after, October 22nd. At that point in time, you would have already lost 3 games. You'd be out of the running. It wouldn't matter what happens against Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and South Carolina. The die would have already been cast. There's no doubt at all that that's the situation to go with. I'll talk tomorrow about all the other SEC coaching situations, but the guys at BetOnline have the latest odds, and by far, Butch Jones is the favorite to get fired. There is no doubt at all. Okay, how many of you have seen the video of me saying that I'm a big fan of First Amendment and boobs on CNN? Just say yes. Just say yes if you have seen that. Just about the entire universe has seen it. It's gone viral, the likes of which probably no 3-minute interview has gone in a long time on CNN. I think it's important for you guys, if you have seen that video, to go watch Outkick.com, to go to Outkick.com and read my article that I just put up about it. There's a lot of things in there that prove that I was the only person who was honest in that entire group. I was more honest than the host. I was more honest than the dude who was arguing on behalf of Jamel Hill, who said he was offended by the fact that I like boobs, despite the fact that he's been tweeting about how much he loves ass and how much he loves boobs himself. He got caught in a lie. I'm the only person who was 100% honest. I said what I say on this show all the time. I love the First Amendment and boobs. That's what I say. I've been saying it for a year or more. You guys know exactly what my position is. I am 100%, whether you like me or not, I say exactly what I think every single day. And that triggers so many different people, okay? So, you can go read why Brooke Baldwin, I think is her name, right? I didn't know that girl. I didn't know that girl at all. As I said in the article, I have a home cam inside my house. I look right into the camera right now, and I can see myself here, but I can't see any of the people that are on the television screen with me. So I had no idea who Brooke Baldwin was. I knew nothing about her. I knew nothing about this Keith Reed guy. I didn't know any of those people at all. I just stared right into my camera and kept saying, honestly, the same thing over and over again. She wanted me to apologize. She wanted me to get down and apologize because she's a woman, and I used the word boobs while talking to her. Here's the deal. She's sexist. I don't know why other people don't pick up on this, but when you're asking to be treated differently based on your race or your sex, that's sexism or racism. I treat everybody the exact same. You ask any woman I've ever worked with, I talk to women the same way I talk to men. I'm old-fashioned like that, or new-fashioned, whatever you want to say. I talk the exact same way to women as I do to men. There are a bunch of people who have been saying, I can't believe you used the word boobs with a woman on the air. Why are you surprised by that? If I would say it to a man, which I would, why wouldn't I say it to a woman too? It doesn't make any sense at all. She derailed that interview by not allowing me to just continue, right? I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, was what I said anywhere near remotely controversial? This is the same woman who, when she had her co-host Don Lemon on, and what's her name, the redhead, Kathy Griffin, said nipple 4 or 5 different times live on the air, she just giggled. When Don Lemon on the air said he had seen Kathy Griffin topless and she had a great rack, she didn't even say anything either then. She laughed. So when she claims that she was suddenly offended by me saying that I liked the First Amendment and boobs, she's totally full of shit. Go check out that article. It's at the top of Outkick. More importantly, though, on behalf of the organization. So I finished that interview. I hung up. I went back to my desk to go publish the interview up on Outkick, the video. And almost immediately, my phone blew up. Right? All these different people texting me saying, oh, that's hysterical. The vast majority of people, not going to surprise you, who are my friends, were like, good for you. Good for you for not bowing down and allowing her to have some viral moment when you did absolutely nothing wrong. I'm not going to apologize ever. If I don't believe I did anything wrong, I'm going to double down and triple down just like I did in that interview. I'm not ever going to apologize. The only thing I wish I had said was I wish I had called Keith when he was like, oh, this is appalling. I wish I'd said, why, Keith? Are you an ass man more than a boob man? That's the only thing I would change about my answers there, and that's just because it would have been hysterical, especially because it came out that he's actually an ass man. All right? That's the only thing I would change. People say, do you have any regrets? Yeah. I regret that I didn't call out Keith for being an ass man live on the air right there, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, I get a telephone call from CNN. I've played that audio clip. I published it up on Outkick.com right now, okay? That phone call asked me, would I be willing to come on CNN on Monday? I call them back. I say, sure, I'm willing to come on Monday. I hang up. And then later that night, no, immediately after that, I tweeted, man, CNN's really triggered. They've already invited me to come back on the show. And that's 100% true. I played the voicemail from you. I got it 20 minutes after I went off the show with CNN. I call them back. I say, sure, I'll come on. I hang up. And then I tweet out the fact that they are so triggered they've already invited me back on. CNN immediately issues a statement to all sorts of mainstream media denying that they had ever offered me the right to come back on their network. They said that I was lying. And so I immediately tweeted back, I wasn't lying. And then I got a text message that same night from that CNN producer saying, hey, we're canceling your interview on Monday. So I've got the picture of her phone number along with the fact from her text message to me saying that she is canceling the interview, and I've posted her voicemail that was on my phone calling to schedule an interview with me on Monday. Why does this matter? Nobody in the mainstream media called me at all when CNN called all these people and said, no, Clay Travis is lying. I caught CNN in a blatant and direct lie. The fact that they said they had not invited me back on the network immediately after my interview was a lie by them. And most of the media bought CNN lying to them and saying that I had made it up. So you need to go read that. You need to go share it. We also have First Amendment and boobs t-shirts available. Anybody's got any better designs, let me know. We went with a classic one of the Founding Fathers holding up the new Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And right above it, it says, and boobs. It's understated. If you want a more aggressive one, we can make a more aggressive one too. But what I love about this is we blatantly caught CNN in a lie. We caught Brooke Baldwin in a lie. We caught that Keith dude, Keith Reed, in a lie. I was the only honest person there. I went on and said I love the First Amendment and boobs, and I still say it today. I'd love for Brooke Baldwin to have to answer why it was okay for her co-host to say that Kathy Griffin had a great rack. Don Lemon said that, and she had no issue. I'd love to hear why Don Lemon talking about getting his nipple pierced live on the air, as well as Kathy Griffin saying nipple a bunch of different times, was totally fine for her. But when I use the word boobs, she loses her mind, and she's like, you can't talk to a woman like that in 2017. What are you talking about? I can't tell women that I love boobs? Do you think that surprises women? Do you think women are delicate flowers? Do you think that women who have turned Victoria's Secret into a billion-dollar company, do you think the fake boob industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, do you think bras, which in the last 20 years have had more technological innovations than North Korean nuclear weapons, do you think women are surprised that men like boobs? You think there's a lot of women out there like, oh, I didn't have any, how unbelievable that Clay Travis would say that men like boobs. Give me a fucking break. Women aren't stupid. They know that men like boobs. It's why they spend so much money on boobs, because it works, right? Jesus. So this idea that somehow saying that I like the First Amendment and boobs is unacceptable is one of the most ridiculous examples of, kind of like bully creep. You know what bully creep is? It's like everything is bullying now. Everything is racism now. Everything is transphobia now. Everything is homophobia now. Sometimes a dude can just say he likes boobs and there's nothing else to it. And maybe you could go ahead and handle that and not lose your damn mind. And that's why I've added 40,000 Twitter followers so far today, since that day. Because people are like, may not agree with Clay Travis on everything, but thank God he's actually sticking to what he believes as opposed to being a total pussy and apologizing for anything, even though he didn't do anything at all. The other thing I love is I immediately got branded a right-wing conservative. Me, a guy who worked on Al Gore's presidential campaign, who's never worked for a Republican. That's also how the media works. They immediately brand you as a hardcore Trump guy. Do you see everybody tweeting? This is what happens in Trump's America. People just go on the air and say they love boobs. Give me a break. I would have gone on in Hillary Clinton's America and said I loved boobs. I would have gone on in Barack Obama's America and said I love boobs. And George W. Bush's. You know why? Because I've loved boobs as long as I can remember. I've loved boobs all the way back since Princess Leia was in a slave costume sitting on Jabba's lap. Even before I knew what boobs were, I loved boobs. Probably loved them back when I was breastfeeding too, but I don't have any recollection of that. I would imagine my mom would say, yeah, he kind of liked boobs back then too. So get over yourselves. Finally, again, encourage you to go check out OddsShark for all your gambling and informational related needs. I would encourage you also to go download, get hooked up now with a mortgage that you need, thehomeloanexpert.com. Get refied, get pre-qualified, get the best possible rates you can anywhere across the country. These guys love us. They love me. They love you. Go to the anonymous mailbag. You can always see their ads. They'll be up tomorrow. This is amazing. ESPN is so triggered that one of their PR executives, I can't even believe this is real. This is where I start to believe that I really am one day going to make $100 million a year a la Howard Stern. Because the people who don't like me are so dumb that it's like they're putting checks into my bank account. Mike Soltis, I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Mike Soltis, Mike Pussy, whatever you want to call him. This guy said, Fox Sports must be proud that its morning radio host said boob 53 times today. Okay, first of all, I don't work at Fox Sports. They keep saying that I work at Fox Sports. I'm employed by Outkick, and I'm employed by iHeartRadio. Fox Sports literally does not give me $1 of my income. okay? I don't know why ESPN doesn't understand that. I don't know why my critics don't understand that. If you want me to be fired, you're going to have to convince Outkick to fire me, all right? I think the odds of Outkick firing me are really low because I own 100% of the company and because it's a multi-million-dollar business and because I make a lot of money for myself through Outkick, all right? So you can be triggered as fuck, but I don't think you're going to be very, very persuasive when it comes to persuading Clay Travis to fire Clay Travis, all right? I just don't think that's going to happen. But you can go after it if you want to. I'm not employed by Fox Sports. I literally do not make a dollar from them. So, but this tweet, ESPN has got a entire room full of people listening to every word on my morning radio show. Some poor bastard has got a notepad, and every time I say boobs, he is sitting there making a check mark. Think about how unbelievable this is. ESPN is fine with employing people who go out and say that Donald Trump is a white supremacist and all of his voters are racist. That's like half of America, right? They're totally fine with that happening. But they're not even my employer, and they literally have a bunch of loser motherfuckers sitting in a room with my audio on, with a notepad out in front of them, writing down how many times I say boobs. Oh my God. I can't even conceptualize of how much of losers this company is. Can you imagine being a grown-ass 60-year-old dude with a notepad in front of you, checking every time I say the word boobs, and then going on Twitter to respond so that everybody can see that you were sitting around all day checking Twitter? These responses are, by the way, unbelievable. This is murder. I mean, go read the responses to this. If you're not following me on Twitter right now, at Clay Travis, go read these responses. But I was like, oh my God, this is just like private parts. It's as if ESPN is trying to ensure that all the money they're losing by going bankrupt comes directly to me by way of salary. One of the dumbest things I have ever seen. How incompetent is this organization? I am David, they are Goliath, and every day I wake up and kill them with a slingshot again and again and again. It's one of the most unbelievable things I have ever seen. If you're upset by me, tell as many people as you possibly can that you're upset by me. Because we've never had a bigger week, never had more traffic, never had more downloads, never had more fans of Outkick than we have in the past week. In the past month, we've never done better. Do you know how many people are reaching out to me right now, begging me to write a book? When I wrote my first book, Dixieland Delight, I had to go out and sell the shit out of it to get my first book contract. Right now, I got people soliciting me, offering me hundreds of thousands of dollars, just saying, please write a book. Please go out and write a book. All my life, I worked to make money, and now I've got people just throwing money in my direction. Hey, take this money from us. Just please take this money and do whatever you want with it. I ground and ground and ground to make $50,000 a year, and now I got people just throwing $500,000 at me like it's 50 cents. One of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. Do you know why that's happening? It's because of you guys in the Outkick Army, but also because there's such a tremendous desire for somebody out there not to be sitting around consistently offended by things like the use of the word boobs. Because there's so many people who are tired of faux rage. They're tired of mock outrage. They're tired of chicks like this Brooke Baldwin going on and flat out lying about being offended by me using the word boobs. They're tired about a guy like this guy, Keith Lee, who's been tweeting all sorts of things about girls' asses and boobs on Twitter, suddenly acting like he's appalled because I say I'm a 100% believer in the First Amendment and boobs. Because there is a desperate desire for somebody who is honest. And I didn't necessarily sign up for this. I'm not the hero. What's the line? I'm not the hero you need, but I'm the one you deserve. That's what I've become. And so Outkick every single day is waking up and kicking ass and taking prisoners and kicking teeth in. And almost all those teeth are ESPN executives just getting kicked in the face again and again because they are so incredibly stupid. Go check out my Twitter feed. Go read that article at Outkick. Check out OddsShark for all your gambling and informational related needs. Also, go get your mortgages at thehomeloanexpert.com. And most importantly, don't trust CNN. Don't trust ESPN. They lie. And they lie because they think that nobody else is going to call them on it. And because when a storm comes, they think that you're going to run and hide. Guess what, motherfuckers? I don't run and hide. I am the Thunder. Don't be a pussy, motherfuckers. I am Clay Travis. If you are ESPN or you are CNN, bang, you are dead, you lying bastards. I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll be live 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern on Fox Sports Radio. Thank you for all your support. Go buy your First Amendment and boobs t-shirts on Outkick.com. Go read that article, share it, make sure everybody knows you ain't fucking with Clay Travis and winning. You come at me, I come back at you twice as hard. I'm not running. I ain't scared. D-bat, motherfuckers. I'll see y'all.